I'm here at Disney's Hollywood Studios to talk about the very last day in Muppets Courtyard. Plus, we have new details for the Muppets taking over Rock and Roller Coaster, 2 new shows have opened at the park, and when we should expect construction to start on the new Monsters Incorporated area. All that and more in today's vlog update. So I was just here a couple days ago for Muppet Courtyard's final day of operation, which was amazing, a celebration. But now here I am walking on my way back to the area, and I think it's gonna be surreal to see it blocked off, inaccessible for the first time since I've been here in 1989. As is usually the case with Disney, they have already updated all of the directional signage, so there is no mention here of Muppet-Vision 3D. Ice cold hydraulics. Yeah, that's sign-worthy, right? Okay, starting to feel a little weird as I approach. Like, I see Muppet-Vision over there. And there it is. There it is, blocked off. Oh, they have pin trading. Amazing. Well, it's over. It's closed. There are, planters in front of it for now. The sign is still on for Pizza Rizzo. Like, it's still kind of alive in there. We actually still have a last cast member show that has to happen first. And I think they're gonna film it for archival purposes, maybe Disney Plus during that last show. And maybe after that, the courtyard can actually close, the signs can turn off, they no longer light the lights, and maybe we'll see some actual work walls with like concept art for Monsters Incorporated out in front. But for now, it's just plants so they can get the cast members in there for one last show. But it's weird. It's really weird. Just a little over a week ago, they actually moved the penny press and fuel rod station machines across the street here in Grand Avenue so they'd still be accessible, what I assumed, after the land closed. And yet, as of right now, those penny press machines are gone. They were essentially our last farewell merchandise for Muppet-Vision 3D and Pizza Rizzo. And there was a line all the way down to Galaxy's Edge. And I thought for sure they'd still be here, but they're not. Now, luckily, I wanted to preserve some for future generations. So for the last several weeks, I've actually been coming here and filling bags of pressed pennies. And now that the Muppets area is closed, it's interesting to see this Grand Avenue area labeled on the map, which was updated today with a new cover showing the new villain show. But Grand Avenue is it's just a connection to get from one area of the park to the other. I guess it has Baseline Tap House and Ice Cold Hydraulics, a destination worth putting on the sign. As I said though, I was here for closing day, all the way from start to nearly finish, and it was an incredible experience. Now, of course, I had to be first in line to rope drop Pizza Rizzo one last time, and being the first to enter was surreal. I got my usual Pizza Rizzo order and a receipt that I'll probably frame as the last Pizza Rizzo receipt I've ever received. And then we made our way upstairs to the very back booth, the back of the restaurant, so I can kind of look over my kingdom one last time. But it was a great experience because a lot of my friends and people that I know also appreciate the Muppets area were there, and we all gathered around the table for one last supper photo. Rizzo was there. I mean, my plush Rizzo, but still. But I think one of the coolest things was seeing that restaurant full, completely full, at capacity, line out the door for the first time ever. But it was, Muppet fans, people dressed up as their favorite characters or their favorite moments from Muppet-Vision 3D. People were handing out little mementos to remember the occasion. Little posters, farewell merchandise that the park isn't offering for sale. made by the fans. I usually attend opening days at theme park attractions, but it's rare that I show up for a closing day. But I felt I had to for this one. And usually closing days are, usually there's like picketers outside that are like, save our ride, save our ride. But this wasn't like that. This was definitely a celebration. Don't get me wrong, we're all befuddled by the decision to close Muppet-Vision 3D, but we were celebrating the life of this attraction, of Jim Henson's final creation. And I think that was beautiful. Oh, here come the fun. The mood inside of the few farewell shows that I did have at Muppet-Vision was nothing short of incredible. The energy of the crowds, the cheering at the different moments, the laughter, Kermit saying, "Come and see us anytime" at the end definitely hits a little bit different on the last day.
Come see us again sometime.
One moment in particular, every showing I saw, when Sweetums came out, the audience cheered as if it's like a 90s live sitcom. And I guess like the one live actor, so we're trying to make sure that they know that we appreciate them.
Anybody seen a bunny? I don't see a bunny. Where?
And I guess I got kind of lucky. No one was being too obnoxious and reciting like every line as they were happening. But one thing that every showing, everyone said was, you got a minute and a half.
You got a minute and a half.
Even right after that moment, as soon as the actual finale starts, like uproarious applause. Sam Eagle getting his props for putting together that ending. Another thing that was really interesting on final day was the extended queue from Muppet-Vision was actually in use. And I say actually because I think it's been since the 90s since I've actually waited in that queue. In a twist of irony, the queue was so long at some points that it actually went into Galaxy's Edge and through the Rise of Resistance extended queue. Why are there bubbles? There's bubbles. Why are there bubbles? Bean Bunny, is that you? Bean! Bean! The closure of the Muppets area is bittersweet to me because on the one hand, yeah, of course I'm sad to see Muppet-Vision close, especially after all these years and for the importance of the film that it is. But at the same time, it's not like the Muppets Courtyard is even Muppets Courtyard anymore. When this area became Grand Avenue, that area became Grand Park. They painted over the murals on the walls, they replaced the marquee, they removed things from the fountain even. The studio store selling Muppet merchandise hasn't been open since pre-COVID. It's not a Muppets area. It's certainly not a Muppets land. It was a very lightly themed Muppet themed restaurant and a very important show, still in its original theater. So as much as I wish they could have kept that original show or even move it somewhere else besides Disney Plus, it's not like we lost a Muppet land. I mean, let's be real, we lost the Muppets land all the way back at the very beginning when we lost Jim Henson. The idea of Muppet Studios, the Great Muppet Movie Ride, even Pizza Pandemonium, and the idea of an entire fleshed out Muppet land died with him. And what we got was an amazing show, finished by the people who love Jim Henson most, like Frank Oz, giving us, one last opus, one last masterpiece. And what little Muppet theming we had left, what little Muppet land we had, was erased by modern Disney in the last 5 or so years since Galaxy's Edge opened. So yes, I'm very sad to lose Muppet-Vision 3D, but I'm not necessarily upset that the entire area is gone, because as a fan of theme parks and cohesion in this park especially, I do look forward to what they can do with the area and take the leftover city streets that were once part of, Streets of America and turn it into Monstropolis. It makes sense it should have been an animation courtyard, but that would have been a full build from the start and cost more money. I'm still in the bargaining stage, and I still believe that Pizza Razzo can happen and that Roz from Monsters Incorporated can take over, because there's no way it's not going to be a pizza restaurant. It's just now a matter of whether or not Muppet-Vision 3D gets some kind of archival process, or it's not moving anywhere else. But imagine if it did, then I wouldn't be so torn up about this. And so I'm trying. I'm trying to force myself, maybe too soon, to get excited. I mean, I love Monsters Incorporated, and I think the door coaster is very promising and looks really fun. So even though it is a little early in the process, I am forcing myself to get hyped for the future. Because that is what this video is about, really. It's about construction about to start in Hollywood studios again. For the first time, like in a big way, since Toy Story Land and Galaxy's Edge. Things that I covered from the very beginning, including Pizza Rizzo. When it first opened, 2016, I was there covering it for my blog. And now I'll be covering, the new expansion for this blog. And while the door coaster looks really, really cool, whatever theater show goes into what was in Muppet-Vision, you have some very big shoes to fill, because Imagineers have a lot on their plate and a lot riding on this, because we're all watching and we know what we lost. But that is a tale for a different day. For now, this park did get 2 new shows just this summer. And while they kind of feel like stopgap attractions, just while there's not other big attractions opening right now, there is a lot of love put into these shows from the performers, the puppeteers in this one. We might not have Muppets, but we do have puppets. The technology in the Little Mermaid show is really impressive, with the see-through screen that can turn opaque in foreground, and then the way that they CG animated the characters to also look like puppets, so you're not quite sure what is real and what isn't. I mean, it's a big step up from the lasers that they used to have in the original Mermaid show, so I'm glad it got a refresh. And honestly, this park needs more for little kids, so something like the Little Mermaid show is exactly what we needed. The other show is Villains: Unfairly Ever After. I actually really like this show. I mean, it's fun, it's camp, it's got, some of my favorite villains actually singing and dancing right in front of you. Great songs, choreography, it's just fun, but also it's way better than the little car show that they had before. And the seats now have seat backs, so win, win, win. On the morning of the last day for Muppet-Vision and Pizza Rizzo, Kermit gave us a message about them moving right here.
I can't tell you how excited we are to be part of Rock and Roller Coaster. We will see you all there in 2026.
Of course, we already knew that the Muppets were taking over Rock and Roller Coaster, but what we didn't know, and what they actually announced, is that it'll be happening next year. But what's wild is they also confirmed that Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith will remain open through the end of the year, 2025. So, depending on when the new Muppet version opens next year, this could be a very short turnaround to transform it from Aerosmith to Muppets. But, like we talked about in the Goodbye Muppets vlog that I did previously, other than changing out this poster and that word right there's not much else to change to remove Aerosmith. So it's really a question of how much they're going to add to bring Muppets in. The concept art does show the limousine cars getting a colorful paint job, so that's at least one change. But like I said before, I really don't think they're going to remove the flats on the ride, just paint them differently and add to them. Maybe you have animals sitting on top of the Hollywood sign or hanging from the palm trees, and you call it a day. Before I wrap up today's update though, I do want to grab lunch. Sure, we don't have Pizza Rizzo anymore, but we do have Pizza Rizzo Express. That's what I'm going to believe that sign says, Pizza Rizzo Express. Because Catalina Eddie's has exactly the same pizza with a Caesar salad side and even the cannoli. Honestly, not too bad. A reasonable facsimile, just minus the air conditioning. That's gonna wrap it up for this vlog, but do check out my last vlog from Hollywood Studios for a proper farewell of the Muppets area. And one more thing before we go, don't be so hard on Mike and Sully. It's not their fault Disney decided to close the Muppet Theater. They're just doing their job. Thanks for watching. See you next time.
Okay. Sam, are you about ready?
Yes, it's a glorious 3-hour finale.
You got a minute and a half. Okay, everybody, get ready.